The Long Island Killer, also known as the Gilgo Beach Killer, was a notorious, unidentified criminal responsible for a series of murders that stunned the community. The crimes took place between 2007 and 2010 in Suffolk County, New York. The killer targeted young women, leaving a trail of brutality, and the police baffled. The crimes came to light in December 2010 when police discovered the remains of 4 women near Gilgo Beach, Long Island. As the investigation progressed, it revealed a horrifying pattern of violence and tragedy. The killer's victims, whose ages range from their early 20s to their late 40s, were mainly prostitutes and escorts who had been reported missing by their loved ones. The brutality of the crimes and the calculated manner in which they were committed sent shockwaves throughout New York and the rest of the country. Law enforcement agencies, including the Suffolk County Police Department, embarked on a complex and extensive investigation to identify and apprehend the Long Island Killer. The search for answers spanned multiple jurisdictions, involving forensic experts, detectives, and the FBI. As the investigation unfolded, more bodies were discovered, leading authorities to suspect the existence of a serial killer. The remains of at least 10 victims were eventually found scattered across the area. The killer's methods often involved strangulation, and some of the bodies showed signs of dismemberment. In what could only be described as a sick act of depravity, the killer called the family of one of his victims for months to taunt them about what he had done. Despite numerous leads and a dedicated effort by law enforcement, the Long Island Killer remained elusive. The investigation faced significant challenges due to the transient nature of the victim's lifestyle and the absence of substantial evidence. The killer's ability to evade capture and remain unidentified added to the frustration and fear gripping the community. Over the years, several persons of interest emerged, but definitive links to the crimes were difficult to establish. The investigation took unexpected turns, uncovering additional unsolved homicides and connections to other criminal activities. It became a complex web of leads, suspects, and unanswered questions. The search for justice and closure for the victims and their families continued for years. Efforts were made to leverage advancements in forensic technology and DNA analysis, as well as to engage the public's help through media campaigns and tip lines. The hope was to break the silence surrounding the Long Island Killer and bring him to justice. These efforts would culminate in the arrest of Rex Heuermann, a 59-year-old father, architecture, and businessman. On July 13, 2023, Heuermann was charged with the murders of Megan Waterman, Melissa Bartholomew, and Amber Costello. The turning point in the case began in January of 2022 when a special task force was put together to solve the crimes once and for all. A few months later, authorities would interview a witness who last saw Amber Costello alive. He said the suspect drove a green, first-generation Chevy Avalanche. He would also provide a description: a large, white ogre-like male in his mid-40s, around 6'4" to 6'6" tall, with dark bushy hair and big oval-style 1970s type eyeglasses. Searching through vehicle registrations, the police found Rex Heuermann owned a Chevy Avalanche around the time of the murders, and he also matched the physical description. This caused police to zero in on Mr. Heuermann, executing over 300 subpoenas and search warrants to find evidence, as he was now their primary suspect. The police uncovered a trove of burner phones, and it was discovered his personal cell phone and burner phones were in the same location at the same time. Police identified the cell towers near his office as the location for the sick, twisted calls Heuermann made to Costello's family. Another shocking piece of evidence uncovered during the investigation was the discovery of hair belonging to Heuermann's wife. Investigators searched through Heuermann's trash to collect DNA and were able to match DNA on bottles to the hair collected from the crime scenes. Heuermann's own hair was found on one of the victims, and it was matched to him after police collected a pizza box he threw away near his Manhattan office. In addition to the 3 murders, Rex Heuermann is now being investigated for a series of cold murders in Las Vegas, where he owns property, and in South Carolina, where he was planning to build a retirement home. This case is far from over, but it serves as a haunting reminder of the persistent challenges faced by law enforcement in tackling serial crimes and the lasting impact they have on communities.